Hi guys, welcome to the first painting video of 2024. And today I would like to talk about some Necrons and also paint one. So you might remember I painted the Necron army for the channel a while back, and it was mostly the Indomitus stuff. I didn't add anything to this army in a while, but when the new codex dropped and GW released Imotekh and Necron, I just could not resist. I'm not sure if I'll ever expand this army to a standard 2k list, but right now I have nice 1000 points, and for a quick game it is enough. For the video I chose Imotekh, because he is a little bit better for a camera with the open pose than Necron. Plus I did put a video on my community page and Imotekh won, so that's final. There are still some votes in place if you want to give me some info about what content you would like to see in the future, but now let's talk painting. I wanted the Imotekh to match the painting scheme I had for the rest of the force. So I started the same as I did for the rest of the army. Black primer and then a series of dry brushes over the whole model. I did a little sub-assembly for the cape because it covers a lot of the model, but the process is the same for both pieces. If you want to know the full process, go and watch the video I have for the Necron speed paint, but basically I went with the dry brush through the Scale Color Artist blue line. First the Prussian blue, then go with cobalt blue and primary blue, and finish with turquoise. Every one of these applications was quite heavy and really careless, because it just creates the textured finish I want for the whole model. And then I use my highlights colors. Here I first used the pastel blue and then the off-white, both also from the Scale Color lineup. Now with this application I was much more careful. First, with the pastel blue I used it just on the front of the model, more focusing on the parts that are visible and in the light of the environment. And the same with the off-white, but here the application was even more careful and very light with the brush. Again, focusing more on the head, chest and upper parts of the hands and legs, from the main angle. This gives you a natural highlighted finish and the application is very fast. So far the process is the same as the rest of the army. But now it is time to give him a little bit more attention. It is after all the big dog Imotekh himself. The one who rebels against the tyranny of Silent King. But fortunately, or unfortunately, the rest of the model is pretty plain. He just has the cape and some trinkets and the weapon, and a few runes carved into his body. I have to say I was a little bit disappointed when he came out, and looked like an ordinary overlord. I mean, the pose is cool and all, but other than that, you can only tell he is special because he has a fancier stick and is a little bit more jacked up. Or a lot, if you compare him to the ordinary warrior. But I really have no idea what to do different with the Necron range, so I do not criticize. The fact is that this is what they look like in the lore. No fancy bullshit or trinkets, no nothing, which is probably the result of having no soul. So the rest of the model was actually quite fast. I base coated the parts I wanted gold with Scale Color Artist Red Ochre, which gives me a good base for a gold metallics, especially complementing the base, which I know will be red. As for the rest of the army. I then painted the whole cape and some of the fancy parts of the armor with Vallejo Glorious Gold. And over the red it was actually enough to put in just one coat. These metallics are really amazing, and I love them. I wanted to shade the parts of the cloak that would be in the shadow, so I used some random brown ink and used two consistencies. One more diluted for the whole golden surface, and one basically out of the pot for the parts in the shadow. This created a nice effect, especially on the cloak. And honestly, I love it like this. I do realize it does not really read properly on the video, but in hand it does look nice, so I left it like this. The second important part of this model are the runes on his armor. and the power balls or whatever they have randomly around their bodies. So first I base coated them white, and then used the same white diluted into the wash consistency on the runes. The wash flows right into the runes and creates a nice power lines over his whole body. If you are sloppy, you can just swipe it with your finger. So just don't worry about it. It gives you a great base for something like a glowing runes I used in a video a while ago. Because right now I went over it with diluted magenta ink. Again, with this consistency the paint flows right into the recess, and with it base coated white it creates that effect of an inner glow. And with that the only remaining thing is the scepter. Now I use the same process as I did for the power lines, but first I base coated it with the Scale Color Artist Dark Violet. It creates a nice base for magenta colored weapons, which all of my Necrons have. Then I used the same process for the lines on his weapon. The only thing remaining is some easy edge highlighting and a soft squid pink line over the inner edge of this weapon. Only remaining thing is the base, and as for all of my Necrons I also base coated it red, and then applied the red crackle paint from Army Painter, and the Imotekh the Stormlord is ready to lead his Undying Legions once more. I really enjoy this quick paint job, and the idea of a Necron army is ever present flowing over my head. A few days ago I actually even put everything I wanted in my list to the order. And when I saw the number in the store, I quickly deleted all of it. But I feel like it is something that I can add to every now and then. And maybe someday I can enjoy a 2K game with my Necrons. And these are the final results. At the same time I painted one lonely warrior. I forgot with the first wave, so I had the scale difference still right in the front of me. And it is just funny. Let me know how would you differentiate these named characters from the regular ones in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to support the channel. And I will see you very soon. Bye.